Hey there, my friends. I'm Cynthia Top, and as you can see, I am about to do a live stream. So, as you might have read in the little post description there, your beliefs are broken, so you can't manifest the things you want the most. That's today's topic. So, just give me a minute here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm Cynthia Top. I'm a certified life coach, teaching people, helping people how to create their magical lives. And as most of you know, I'm also the host of this Facebook group, How to Create a Magical Life. So today I want to talk about how our unconscious beliefs are blocking us from receiving or creating the things that we want the most, like love, or money, or a great career, or wonderful relationships with the people in our lives. So your beliefs are broken, so you can't manifest those things that you want the most. That's our topic for today. So think for a minute. Can you think of a situation where you have a belief that you can say about this belief, well, I know it's not true, but it feels so true. Here's some examples that I made up. So you might have a belief in some situation, well, I know she didn't mean to hurt my feelings, but it feels like she was purposely picking on me. Or here's another one. I know it's not true that I'll never get out of credit card debt, but it feels so true. Or here's another one. I know it's not true that I'm stuck in this job and that there's no way out, but it feels so true. Or I know I'm not actually stupid, but it feels so stupid. I feel so stupid. So if you're listening, watching this, watching it live, watching it afterwards, if you can think of some of those beliefs that you have yourself and you feel like being this vulnerable, type them in the comments. Those ones that you say, well, I know they're not true, but they feel so true. Here's the cool thing. As a life coach, I have some pretty amazing tools to actually dissolve those painful beliefs. And these tools work so well that sometimes they even feel magical. Like I'll work with a client and we'll go through the process of dissolving a belief and we'll get to the end of it. And I've had clients say to me, like, hey, what just happened? I don't actually believe that belief anymore. Like, how did you do that? Because these tools work so well. And that's totally part of what we do in my one-on-one coaching program, Magical You, Magical Life. So if this is resonating with you already, and I haven't even gotten into the good stuff yet, we need to talk. I offer every quarter a certain number of free over the phone 45-minute sessions, magical life planning sessions. And I'll tell you more about them at the end. But if you're interested already, I've got the link in the post description to my calendar where you can go and sign up for one of these free sessions. So I want to tell you a story from this morning. I woke up anxious this morning, and I'm really, really working right now with my anxiety. I was on Paxil, which is an SSRI, an antidepressant that's also used for anxiety. I was on it for most of 10 years, and I finally decided, I've tried a couple times to go off it, but this time I was like, you know what? I am going off of this, and I am dealing with my anxiety. And so I've been completely off of it for several months now, since the spring. And I'm really having to deal with my anxiety. I often wake up anxious, and I've been making myself get up and use all my tools that I use with my clients to coach myself. So this morning I woke up anxious, and I always have this like, oh shit, really? I'm anxious today again. They haven't even gotten out of bed yet. But the cool thing is, I started using my tools on myself, and I uncovered one of my limiting beliefs, one of my lies that was making me anxious right now. And this is just a variation on a lie that I've been working on. So today, the words that I heard were, I have to keep the people I love safe and happy, which is like a huge burden. But that belief feels utterly true to me. I can look at it and say, well, that's not true. Obviously, I don't have to keep the people I love safe and happy, and I can't. But it feels so true. So my anxiety this morning was triggered by the thought, ooh, I have to keep the people I love safe and happy. And it was about a couple situations that are going on right now with people I love. And it caused me waves of anxiety. Now, if any of you out there deal with anxiety, you'll relate to this. I hate anxiety. It totally sucks. It's like the worst feeling ever. It pulls me out of the present into this future that I'm catastrophizing. It pulls me out of my body and into this weird mind space that's like where the thoughts are just racing. It's a really awful feeling. And anxiety holds me back from creating and receiving what I want in my life, which is joy and peace and happiness. So this morning, I suddenly saw this belief. I was like, ooh, there it is. I have to keep the people I love safe and happy. And I went to work right away using one of my thought dissolving tools on myself. And the cool and magical thing is, as soon as I went to work on that belief, and I opened myself to the possibility that that belief actually wasn't true, my anxiety started to shift immediately. Now, anxiety is also a physical thing with all the adrenaline that your body's creating and all of that. So it took me a little while to come down from the physical part, but I could see that as I was working through the belief, this lie that I was hanging on to, and as my mind was shifting, then my body could begin to shift as well. So I've used this analogy before, but I want to compare our beliefs, our broken beliefs, because that's a broken belief for me. I have to keep the people I love safe and happy. Well, it's not even possible. Of course it's not true. It's a broken belief. So I want to use the analogy of comparing our broken beliefs with when our car breaks down. So this was quite a few years ago, and not the car that I currently own, but I was driving along one day in my car, and all of a sudden the lights on the dashboard started like flashing on and off, like flickering, and then going off, and then they come back on. And then the car was kind of lurching, like sort of sputtering. And miraculously and way thankfully, I just happened to be just a few blocks away from the mechanic where I always took my car. And I was like, so I changed whatever my plans were for wherever I was going, and I was like, I just have to get to the mechanic. And I was praying, oh God, don't let there be a red light, because I could tell that if I had to stop, my car was going to stop completely. And I managed to limp my car right to the mechanic. And when I pulled into the lot, my car died right there. And I was like, whew, I didn't have to get it towed. And the mechanic, as always happens at a mechanic's place, they come and they look at it, they investigate, and then you sit there and wait. And then he came back to me and said, well, your alternator has failed. And I said, oh, my alternator. What does an alternator do? And I kind of had a vague idea, but so he explained, well, your alternator recharges your battery while you're driving. And you can't, your car won't drive with a dead battery. It's just not that it won't start. You can't actually drive your car with a dead battery. So your alternator keeps recharging your battery as you go along. And basically his message to me was, well, if you don't get it fixed, you're not driving this car off of this lot. It's not going anywhere. Big sigh. You know that feeling when you're like, oh crap, now I suddenly have to spend money on something I didn't intend to or plan to, and it's going to be a lot of money. Okay, so how much is it going to cost? And can you do it for me now? Like, do you have the part? And yes, they could do it. And so I agreed. I agreed to the money, and I agreed to whatever time it was going to take for me to sit there while they fixed it, because I valued having a car that drives. So now let's take that analogy to this belief thing. So I'm the belief mechanic. So you come to me as a coaching client or doing one of these free calls, and you say, I just can't create this life I desire. I believe in manifesting things, but I can't make it happen. And in fact, I'm going backwards. Like, I'm creating more debt, or I'm creating yet one more toxic relationship, or I'm gaining more weight, or I just got a new job and it's turning out to be as crappy as the one that I left. I'm repeating my patterns. So as the belief mechanic, I do some investigating with you by talking to you, and we figure out, what are some of these beliefs and what's going on inside of you with them. And then I say to you, well, your beliefs aren't working, honey. And I always feel like this sounds so kind of stark or harsh when I write it out in like a newsletter or something, but for me it's this place of such love, because we all have this. We're all walking around with these lies, these beliefs that are broken. So I say to you, honey, you've got some broken beliefs, and that's okay. And the good news is I can help you fix them. The bad news is they're what's making you continue to create this life that you don't love, with these patterns that are causing you issues and problems. Your beliefs are what are creating your life. And when we're clogged with all these limiting beliefs, especially really deep level, we can put every ounce of willpower into changing our lives. But it's just not going to happen, because our beliefs are creating our lives, and our beliefs are broken. And if you don't get your beliefs fixed, here's what's going to happen, honey. You're going to go on repeating those cycles, those patterns. You're going to create yet one more toxic relationship, or you're going to create yet one more health problem, or yet one more dead-end job. You're going to be stuck in those areas that you so desperately want to see goodness and magic. So there you are, listening to me, the belief mechanic, and you sigh that big sigh, because you know that somehow this is going to involve effort and time and money, maybe, to change this. But you want a magical life, just like I wanted a car that would drive. You want it badly enough that you realize, wow, I'm ready to invest effort and invest time and invest money in creating this magical life that I've been longing for years. So you look at me and go, okay, let's do it. And I say to you again, honey, we can fix this. So to wrap up the analogy, we have beliefs that are broken. I have tools to help you fix them. There's actually tons of tools out there. I mean, the whole consciousness movement is filled with tools. But there's something about working through one-on-one with a coach about what tools you need to be using and what will help you now, how to actually fix these broken beliefs. That it's just, there's such power in not doing this on your own. So if this is resonating with you, I'm just going to cycle back to what I said right at the beginning. I'm offering, every quarter, I offer a certain number of these free 45-minute sessions. I call them Magical Life Planning Sessions. They are totally free, no strings attached. And in the session, we'll get on the phone and I'll ask you a bunch of questions and we'll delve into where are you right now in this journey of creating your magical life? Where are you? And then we'll ask the question, well, what's blocking you? What are some of the beliefs that are holding you back? Where are you clogged with these limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck? And then we'll start talking about what is a great next step for you. Now, sometimes I'll have the sense that I'm supposed to propose working with me as a coach and doing my one-on-one coaching program. Other times that won't feel right to me at all. Or you might say to me, can you tell me about that coaching program of yours? So we may talk about that, we may not. We may go off on some totally different tangent. Maybe you need to go to that retreat you've been wanting to go to for 10 years, and it's your next step. It's a great next step for you. So yes, I do get new clients out of doing these free calls, but I never, ever do a hard sell about my coaching program. Because I believe my coaching program is fantastic and that it's going to resonate with the people who are meant to be in it. And you'll go, yeah, tell me more. And if you're not in that place, we'll figure out what your great next step is for creating your magical life, for getting through your particular cluster of beliefs that are blocking you. So if this has resonated with you, if you're like, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to talk to a real person about where I'm at. I just want to say open invitation right now. I've got some spaces available. That's why I'm doing a big push to try to get people to sign up for these free calls. The link is in, I always do this wrong. I'm trying to point at the post description. The link to my calendar is in there. So you just click on it and you pick a time slot that works for you, and then you'll get an email from the system that gives you the instructions. If you're at a place where you're like, I need to talk. I need to talk to Cynthia. I've been sitting back. I haven't been actively working to overcome some of this. I just want to say to you, go with that gut feeling. If it's time to talk to me, sign up for a call and we'll figure out where you want to go, what your magical life would look like, what's holding you back, and then you'll walk away with your next step. And just whether or not it's coaching with me, you're going to come out of that 45 minutes with a clear new sense of direction about your life. Because that's what I'm good at doing. That's what I offer. That's what I'm here to bring into the world. So I can offer it freely. So sign up for one of those calls. All right, that is all for now. Ciao, my friends. Mwah.